Hey everyone, this is Tommy with Outrider USA. Hope you guys are doing great. I'm here today with an Outrider Alpha. This is a 3rd generation machine, a little bit older machine, but this customer had all kinds of cool ideas for accessories, and there's tons of cool technology on this unit. So we wanted to take the time to walk you through some of these different accessories, from lighting to cameras to the fairing and a bunch of other stuff that's really cool, just to give you an idea of some of the things that you can do with the machines and how everything integrates. So we're going to walk through it today piece by piece and maybe see something here that gives you an idea on something you've been looking for on your build. So check it out. We're going to go through the details on it, starting with this really cool fairing. So let's check that out first. All right, so first we got the zipper fairing. These are really cool. We really like the zippers because they've got really well-designed internal bracketry. So for a machine that goes faster like this is a 40 mile an hour build, this has a lot more bracing. So when you get all that wind loading and crosswinds and road vibrations and bumps, this upper support and this lower support, being as rigid as they are, really helps to minimize any kind of vibration. There's 2 different mounting points, and that really gives you a lot more stability than a single mounting point, and it gives you kind of a more of a triangular overall shape as far as your supports go. So really nice and rigid. Main advantage with this is if you're riding in cold weather, to keep the wind off of you, to keep the bugs off of you. Also, if you got some rain and mist, it'll keep you for the most part dry if you're moving at a pretty good clip. In addition to that, it does give you a little bit of an aerodynamic benefit. Not massive, but it does give you a little bit of a benefit, so that's definitely a cool plus as well. Again, this is from Zipper. This is their trike fairing. As far as getting on and off of it, to make it a lot easier, they've got a release screw here, and you're just going to release that, push this up, and then push it forward. And then this whole thing folds out to the front. So it holds in position there. You can load in from the front corner like you normally would. Once you're in, you'll pull this back, pull that back into position, and then you're just going to lock this thumb screw down here. So really straightforward. It's very adjustable, so you can kind of get up a little higher if you're taller, or a little lower if you're shorter, and also you can telescope it in and out here depending on your leg length. There is a good bit of custom setup to this for us depending on the rider's size. So it does take a good bit of labor to really get the setup right for the rider. This specific model has a little bit of a tint to it, so it's going to show up a little bit more, have a darker kind of shade to it on the road. It looks really good, especially with this all black machine. So it's a really nice looking add-on, and it's a great company, so we're glad to be able to put this unit on this Alpha. So really cool zipper fairing. From there, we'll go to the back of the machine and talk a little bit about the cargo. He added to his normal cargo rack, he added this insulated trunk bag. This is a trunk bag that was designed for ATVs and other vehicles where you're going to want to keep your food or beverages cold. It's got a sealed zipper here, so it's really good at keeping any moisture in or out. And then you've got a nice thick insulated wall here. Something that's really great with this is a lot of times folks want water bottle cages on the bike, which we can do. But if you're spending a lot of time out on the road and it's hot, really the best way to carry water is to do it in a big camel back bladder or something similar, some other bladder from another manufacturer. You can throw that water bladder in here on ice or on cold packs, and within this insulated case, it'll stay nice and cold all day long. You'll have a whole lot more water capacity than you would with just a normal water bottle. And then also you can drink your water hands-free and not have to reach around for water bottle. But for short rides, it is nice to be able to carry a water bottle. And so this customer also added this adjustable water bottle cage over on this side here. This has a ratchet so you can tighten it down for small or much larger water bottles, even up to like a Nalgene size bottle. You can fit that in there, no problem. So that's a pretty slick little accessory there. Also, he's added wrist rests for comfort on this. So if you're on those real long rides and you know, sometimes it's just nice to have something to rest your arms on. It's almost as much of an arm rest as it is a wrist rest. You can kind of see where this comes in at on the arm here. You can see from that side over there as well how that's positioned. Really nice, really comfortable, and really ergonomic as well. Those are also adjustable, and then you can remove these very easily, and you can wash these cases and put them back on. You can also adjust them so that either you put them in that direction or this direction, depending on the angle you want coming into it. So those are from Ice. That's a nice wrist rest. We really like the design on those a lot. Up front, he's added these fenders. These fenders, we get a lot of requests for them. It's not a typical fender in that it uses a very heavy duty mount here that goes down to our steel upright. So it's super rigid. This is nice because one of the compromises that folks make a lot of times when they go to a normal fender is you lose the ability to get on and off of the vehicle easily because you can't put your hands on the tires anymore. Well, with this, because of this strong tube that comes up, you still have a nice hard point here to be able to get on and off of the machine more easily. Then you also got a hard point that you can add extra lights or accessories or turn signals. This machine here actually has a turn signal here that's end mounted. We'll get into that a little bit later. But the main advantage with these fenders, of course, is that if you're riding in the rain, it's going to keep you dry. It's also going to keep any little stones or any kind of grit off of the road off of you and keep you a lot cleaner as you're riding. So that's a really nice accessory. They look awesome as well in these machines. They got that really awesome kind of industrial look to them. So moving into the lighting, there's a lot to see on this machine. So to turn that on, most of it comes on with the key switch on the opposite side. So if I flip that switch, you'll see the different lights come on. Of course, we've got the whip back here, which is a really popular option. You can even mount 2 whips on the back of these. There's a second mounting post there. He's opted for their dual rear tail lights. These are multi-purpose. They have a running light, as you can see here when the bike's on. It's your normal running light. Also, they operate as turn signals and they operate as brake lights. The most common setup that folks will do is just get them as running lights. So these lights will always be on when you're riding. At night, it does a good job to give other vehicles on the road perspective for where this machine is, rather than just having a single light. It gives them a bit of a 3D effect so they can kind of see where you're at and get a perspective for the size of the vehicle. So this also has the Magura 4-piston brakes with the integrated electronic switches. So it's got a little switch in there that when you pull the brake, it's actually going to flip the switch and activate these brake lights. So his brake lights, of course, like I said, he's got these lower ones here, which you can see turn on whenever I hit the brakes. But also he's added a dedicated brake light up top, a lot like you'd see on the back of a lot of vehicles on hatchbacks or trucks when they have those lights up on the cab. And that's really nice because that's going to get a rider's attention. So if another driver can't tell, you know, the difference in the brightness, or that doesn't get their attention enough, this dedicated brake light is great because it's a whole separate light that's going to turn on when you hit the brakes. And on top of that, this customer also added a back off unit to that, which wires in line. And basically what that does is, rather than just turning that light on and illuminating it in a solid pattern, it'll flash it to get anyone behind you, to get their attention when you hit the brakes for the first time. So you'll see these on a lot of motorcycles. It's a really, really great safety feature to be able to have that flashing and getting your attention whenever you're hitting the brake. So I'll push the brake here and you can see. So that'll flash and then it goes solid as long as you're holding the brake. When you release and you pull the brake again, it'll flash and then it'll go solid. So with all that combined, those lower and the upper dedicated brake light, it's really nice. Gives you a lot more confidence on the road. Also, on top of that, as I mentioned, he's got turn signals. So the turn signal stalk is up here on the left. You can see there. Your left button, of course, your left turn signal, and the right is the right turn signal. So if I press that left button, you'll see on the back, you're getting that turn signal. It's going to flash for about 8 seconds. So you can see up front as well, you're getting your left turn signal, which is great because you can see that from the front of the vehicle as well. Then after 8 seconds, it'll cancel. Same thing on the right. And if you want to cancel early, you just press that same button again and it'll cancel it early. So you press the button, you start your turn, and then when you're done, you press the button again and it cancels. So it's really slick, real simple. You don't have to worry about, oh, I left my turn signal on, and get to the point where somebody's ignoring the fact that you're indicating because you're not intending to indicate. So this unit takes care of that. It's a really nice unit, really slick. Also, if you press both buttons, you can activate 4 ways. So you got both front lights up there flashing, and then you got the lights in the back flashing as well. And then you can cancel those by holding that down as well, both buttons holding them down. So very intuitive to use, really nice addition, very popular addition for us more and more as customers use these machines on the road. That's what the Alpha's made for, and the turn signals and brake lights are a great addition for that. Okay, so we'll move up to the front while we're on the subject of lighting. This has a Supernova M99 headlight on it. Super nice headlight. Really nice headlight. It has 3 modes. When it gets power and powers up, if it's in daytime light, it'll operate in kind of a daytime running light mode. If it's in lower light conditions, it'll default to a low beam mode, which it's in right now. And if you're on a really dark road by yourself, there's a high beam mode, which you can change to up here on your handlebar. You've got your high beam switch there. And if I push that, you'll see it not only keeps your low beam on, but it puts that high beam on as well in addition. Nice, super bright, efficient LED light. It's designed specifically for e-bikes. I'm going to grab another light here so you can see this daytime running light. Has a really cool look to it. So after it's been, make sure we're in low beam mode here. After it's been in daylight for, I think it's about 10 seconds or so, the light will kick down and it'll go into a daytime running mode light. Really cool look to it. So it's a really beautiful unit. You can just see so many angles and inside of the optic there. They really did a good job with the design of this. But then if I remove the daylight from it, it's going to go back to a low beam, and then again you can flip it up to the high beam. Also, another cool thing from the back side of the light, if you look at the back left of the light, when I take it into a high beam mode, you can see that this little light right here, it goes blue. So that just lets you know you got your high beams on. They thought of a lot of detail with these. They really did a good job. Okay, so that covers most of the lighting. We've covered the headlight, the turn signals, tail lights, the whip. Something that kind of serves 2 functions on this machine in the lighting department is this Garmin unit. So this is a 2-piece Garmin unit. It has 2 functions. One, it's a strobing tail light, but also it has radar in it. It's pretty amazing. This is released with it's like a half turn, or I'm sorry, quarter turn release. You can charge it and then reinstall it and lock it back in place like that. So what this unit does is it lets you know of other vehicles that are behind you, and it gives you indication on this display up here. So you can see, I'll power up this display, and then I'll power this up back here on the top. Let's press and hold, and you can do different strobing modes as well. You can also just run it as a normal taillight. But what it's going to do is, and it's hard to simulate in the shop, you'll see it a little bit potentially as we're out riding later in the video, but as a vehicle approaches from the back, it will indicate here, and basically this is you up top here in the green, and this is kind of the furthest back this unit can see. And as the vehicle gets closer, the white light is going to move up towards you on the top. So you can even see multiple vehicles. You can see two white lights down in this area and get an idea that there are two vehicles behind you. Really intelligent system, really works well. It gives you an auditory alert, so you can hear a beep when there's a vehicle behind you. So then it'll get your attention. You'll look to your rearview mirrors or to your screen. And it'll also give them a special flash pattern back here when it sees them coming. So in case they're not paying attention, it's going to do a strobe to get their attention, let them know, hey, I'm here, make sure you see me. And it really does a great job of getting someone's attention. It really works great. That combined with this back off light, it's really great. And then on top of that, you got your whip, which as you're moving down the road and it's whipping through the air, it's really going to do a great job of getting someone's attention from all 360 degrees around the machine. So lots of really great lighting innovations on this unit, lots to talk about. So that's the Garmin GPS unit. This is a Varia model, and really slick, really intuitive. Really pleased with how it works. I just powered that off, and then do the same thing up here. All right, so that's the 2-in-1 lighting and radar system. Also, for safety and visibility to your rear as well as to the front, this has a GPS camera with forward-facing and rear-facing lights. So if you power up your accessory box, you'll see down here, down to the middle, that's going to power up the unit, and that's going to give you an eye for what's happening in front of you, and then also what's happening behind you. So this unit starts recording as soon as it's turned on. This one has the largest 128 gigabyte card in it. It records at 1080, so you get a lot of recording time, and it's going to continue to record as long as it's on, and then once it's used up all of its internal storage, it'll start rolling that and deleting the oldest footage and continue to record new footage. Also, a cool thing about this is it tracks the time as well as your location with the GPS unit. So if there was ever an incident where someone cut you off or someone did something stupid, it would record all this and give you a timestamp and also a location. So you got all kinds of really great data, proof that you were doing what you're supposed to be doing, in case anybody's being silly out on the road. So that's a really cool unit. You've got a button up here on your handlebar for the camera unit, and this display will naturally go blank as it's sitting to power save. But if you want to see what's going on, you just hit that OK button, and that illuminates the display up here, and you can see what's happening out in front of you, and then back to the back of you as well. So really cool unit there, really nice addition. You can see this one has the camera up here, tucked away and protected under this supernova light right there. And then the rear camera is right here, mounted on top of the cargo rack. So really compact, effective unit, comes from the motorcycle world. The great thing about the Outrider is it has 12-volt onboard power, so you can power all kinds of automotive and motorcycle accessories with it. This electronics accessory box allows you to do that. It has a 12-volt out, a 12-volt, a 48-volt, and a 5-volt USB out, so you can run all kinds of stuff off of these massive lithium batteries that are on the Outrider. So you can use it as a mobile power station. So that's great for all these kind of automotive accessories, but also if you wanted to run an inverter or any 48-volt based item off of the machine, that 48-volt out allows you to run a powerful inverter, so you could even run 110-volt accessories, things you'd plug into your normal wall, like your laptop charger or hair dryer or whatever you might want to use. If you're out there, way out in the middle of nowhere, you can power it off of the Outrider, so that's pretty cool. Okay, so that covers that. Let's move up here. Just one cool little feature. This one has a phone mount, center mast with a ball joint. So you just pull this up and then pull the camera back to release. This is sprung. It's really bomber, really nice solid mount, no vibration to it at all. You just pull it up and you drop your phone in and it's super solid, no worries at all. We're about 1,400 miles away from Pikes Peak, so you can navigate the whole way there. And then you can also, of course, like I mentioned, you can power up the your phone with that 5-volt USB line that's coming out of your accessory box. So you could power this phone off of the bike indefinitely with that USB. So you don't have to worry about finding a charging spot for your phone, as it is likely to run out of battery probably before your Outrider is. Okay, so you got the phone mount there. Moving, kind of shifting gears a little bit. This one also has a Ventasit seat cushion on it. This customer wanted extra cushion, so this is their comfort pad. It's extra thick, and we put it over top of our normal cushion. This Ventasit material is really unique. It's really breathable. It doesn't hold water, and it's super lightweight. And this just gives extra squish for your tush. Makes it comfortable if you're spending all day on the road, and gives you good breathability, so you're more likely to ride comfortably for a much longer period of time. So that's a real nice accessory. That's a European company, comes out of Europe, and we mount them to the Outrider. So nice accessory there. Moving into some of the other details with this, he's opted for a Crank Brothers based clipless pedal. We always suggest that folks use clipless on any recumbent trike, and that's so that there's minimal chance that you're going to have your foot slip off of this pedal and go down underneath the Outrider. That's not what you want. So this allows you to clip in. The Crank Brothers egg beater kind of clip that this one has is pretty common out there. It gives you a little bit more range of motion laterally with your foot, so if you have knee issues, the Crank Brothers may be a better choice for you. The Shimano SPD is the other very common option out there. A little different geometry, but everybody has their own preference. I've always ridden SPD. I've also used to ride Crank Brothers a lot, and actually kind of preferred Crank Brothers on trikes and preferred SPDs on mountain bikes. So it's really personal preference. But this also has a large platform to it. That really helps for minimizing any kind of numbness that you might get in your foot. Larger the platform, the better there, so you kind of distribute that pressure over a wider surface, minimize any foot numbness. So nice pedals there. Of course, this one has a Schlump drive. We've talked about the Schlump a lot in other videos, the overdrive crankset. I'm not going to go into it here too much, but he's got that option here as well. Okay, so after the Schlump, one thing that I hadn't mentioned yet at all was this horn, which is nice and loud. It uses a blue button here on the stock, and the horn's mounted on the front, right underneath there. It's an electric horn.
I'm gonna have to...
Did that spook you? All right, so yeah, it's nice and loud.
It's gonna peak on the
yeah.
audio timeline.
All right.
That's okay.
So yeah, also, one other thing that I didn't mention was the horn. So the horn is activated with the blue button right here. And it's an electric horn. It's mounted up front. right here. And it's nice and loud. Brace yourself.
Perfect.
So that's plenty sufficiently loud. Okay, so from here it's mostly stuff that we've talked about before in other videos, like I mentioned, so I'm not going to go too deep into it, but I do want to mention just a couple of things so that if somebody wants to watch one video that covers most of the accessories that we have, they can watch this video. So this one does have the 11-speed Alphine system from Shimano that's electronically shifted. It's an internally geared hub, so you can shift when you're stopped. You can run through the gears, no problem, even when you're parked. You can hear the servo shifting, and up front here you can see your gear indicator. Pretty sweet. So you can find whatever gear you want, no matter whether you're stopped or rolling. Of course, that schlumpf also is a planetary that can be shifted when you're stopped. You don't have to be rolling to shift. So all the gear shifting on this bike can be done at a complete stop. So you'll never get stuck in that really big gear that is impossible to start. You'll always be able to get down to first gear no matter what. So that's a real nice convenience and gives you a lot of peace of mind. Okay, also he's got the parking brake on this. This is a mechanical parking brake, separate from the hydraulic disc brakes that are the primary brakes. This mechanical parking brake activates a dedicated caliper here, this Avid caliper that's mechanical, and that's on a 200mm disc brake, which is also an upgrade from the standard 180s. So that parking brake is mechanical, while the main hydraulic brakes are separate, because you don't want to hold pressure in a hydraulic line for a long period of time. So do the brakes the same way you would on like a normal car with an e-brake. Cool. So also he's got the headrest option up here, which is adjustable forward and back, and then also up and down, so you can get it really right where you want on your neck. It's a real nice, comfortable headrest from Ice. It's a great option as well, really common pick for a lot of our customers. Let's see what else. That covers most of it. Of course, we have the cargo rack, mentioned that. This is a fan-cooled motor because it's an Alpha. That fan comes standard. We have it unplugged right now for the video, since there's a lot of talking. That keeps the motor nice and ice cold. It's full suspension, of course. This has the standard rock shocks, air shocks on it, up in the rear and up front. See the shocks there. And yeah, that pretty much covers it. So we're going to end the video by spooling this up because it has an awesome sound to it. It'll run 40 miles an hour, this Gen 3 Alpha, so you get a chance to hear that motor in action. And thank you guys, for watching. This fender, of course, is standard, the rear fender. I had forgotten to mention the front fenders are an option, but the rear fenders are standard. So let's go ahead and fire it up. You can hear it in action. You're going to hit this red button, and then begin to pedal. This one has pedal first on it, so you pedal to about 3 miles an hour, and then once you're at 3 miles an hour, you can activate the throttle. Alright, thanks for watching. If you guys are enjoying the different content that we upload, please feel free to subscribe so you know when we got something new posted. And we thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you have a great day. Take care. Bye-bye.
Yep.
Got a truck coming there.
Very good.
Parking brake on a little bit.
Yeah.
Ready?
Yep.
in there. That's okay.
Oh, sorry.
That's all right. Oh, I thought there was a car following us, but it left me. I'll take it.
All right. And all that?
Yep.
All right.
You gonna go out front and up here for a little bit?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh.
Sorry. That's good. We wouldn't have wanted them behind us.
Nah.
All right. I'll go ahead.
Yep.
I didn't get very
Careful
much.
here, there's a lot of fun.
Yeah, we're good. Yep. Alrighty. Yeah?
All good?
Uh-huh. Yeah, you go ahead.